Welcome back to Taj's Garden. I am the gardening realtor, and today I'm going to be getting my garden prepared for me to be gone for an entire 7 days. So the first thing I did was move this raised bed over by my rain barrels. This way I can use this solar irrigation system and it's going to water my plants. I also started some seedlings not too long ago, and if I leave, these are going to die because they need some form of water. I went ahead and planted them near these irrigation emitters because at least they're going to stay moist. These lettuce plants are on their last leg anyway. They don't have much longer, so it makes sense to go ahead and plant these seedlings in these raised beds. These spinach plants are already going to flower, so I am not going to be watering these. For some reason, when plants start to go to flower, they don't really need much water. They tend to just survive without you having to do anything to them. So I put those emitters in these containers with this chamomile, because these Dollar Tree containers tend to dry out really quickly, and whenever the water drips, these down here are going to catch it. That's another chamomile and rosemary, and this is a peppermint and rosemary right here. The rosemary doesn't need much water, but there tends to be water that drops down here after the plants are watered up there, so why not let them use the water? Now let's head to the garden. What I've done is fill each and every one of these grow bags and containers with a terracotta spike and a wine bottle filled with water. You want to make sure you properly wash this out before you put it in here. So this terracotta spike is very porous, so it's going to slowly let out water around the roots as needed. And this should keep it watered at least until I get back. The ones that are going to empty first are going to be these small ones, but that's the reason I put the small ones around the very small plants, because they won't need very much water. There's a flower growing at the top of this pepper, and since it's still very small, I'm going to go ahead and pick that flower off. You don't have to do that. This is solely up to your preference. The reason I did it is because if it's starting to grow fruit at this size, it'll weigh the plant down and you won't get such a big harvest. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and harvest what needs to be harvested. Super tiny. I think that during all of the rain that we had, the nutrients washed out pretty quickly. Most of these leaves have a purplish tint, even this one. And most of the time, the purple tint on the leaves indicate nutrient deficiency. And that's only on my plants in the grow bags. The ones in the beds, they are completely fine. Hence the broccoli that I harvested earlier, that is a really big size, and I'll show you that. The reason I wanted to go ahead and harvest it is because it looks like it's starting to get in position to separate, and I don't want to come back to completely separated broccoli, so I'm going to cut these and freeze them. Whenever you're going to cut broccoli, you cut it right here, just chop it right here all the way through, and then they'll all separate. There you go. You can also cook this as well. If you don't like the fibrous part, then broccoli florets is for you. And you can actually go as far as continuing to make them even smaller by tearing them apart. Like that. But for the most part, you have a lot of nice broccoli florets that you can just freeze for later use. And it all came from your garden. I also have drip irrigation in my garden, and they're all set on a timer. They're going to run for about 15 minutes every single day at 6 a.m. And I will link that in the description below too. But it's so cool because it lets you set a rain delay on there as well. So it senses when it has rained, and then you can decide to delay it from 1 to 3 days. And I delayed it for 2 days. So if it rains while I'm away, it's going to delay the schedule for 2 days. If you want to learn how to install drip irrigation into your garden, I have the video linked above and in the description below. On top of the drip irrigation, I also have these Olla pots where I'm going to fill all of these up so that they can let out moisture deep below where the roots are too. This is how big the Olla pots are, and I got them from Back to the Roots. I'm going to go ahead and fill these up, and most of them are already in my ground. This is just an extra one that I have. They are supposed to slowly drip out for 7 days straight. I used just that last year when I went on a trip to the Bahamas, and when I came back, everything was perfectly fine and they were all growing awesomely. The only thing I had an issue with were my plants in the buckets, and that's because I didn't have a way to water them. Now that I have these Terracotta Spikes in the wine bottles, I'm thinking we're going to do pretty good. I also transplanted my cantaloupe underneath my broccoli because it's getting pretty hot, and it's before you know it, it's going to be time to go ahead and pull that broccoli up. So I went ahead and planted the cantaloupe underneath. It'll get a little bit of shade because it's going to get pretty hot soon. Since they are new transplants, that I don't want the heat to stress them out, so the shade is going to help them get established, because very soon, in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be pulling this broccoli up. And this is how it looks. Little baby cantaloupe down here. And I hope nothing eats it this time. And here's the other one. Before I leave in the morning, I'm going to go through and deeply water this plant tower. I don't have a drip irrigation for my plant tower, and I should have went ahead and got it, but I don't have one. So what I'm going to do is deep water it early in the morning before we leave, but I will definitely give you guys an update after I get back after the 7th day and see how everything goes. These are going to dry out, and that is what I'm afraid of. But this, the soil is pretty full, so I think it'll probably hold the moisture a little bit longer than the small ones. But I might have to have someone come and water them. All right, that's it for now. I have harvested all my broccoli, harvested all of the peas. I filled up all the Olla pots. I had to change the drip emitters, change out the drip emitters, because the spray emitters weren't working properly. Sometimes they would just dribble, and other times they would spray properly, but I cannot risk it because when I'm gone, I'm gone. So I changed out those drip emitters. I put the wine bottles in every one of the containers. The only thing that I am nervous about is the plant tower, both of those plant towers. Everything else is watered. I put the solar irrigation in the standing raised bed. I have the Dollar Tree planters with my herbs in it. I have them all set up in a way where they can get some water. So it's just a matter of seeing if it's going to work. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But hopefully everything works out. If it's bright enough outside, I will show you guys what I'm going to do when we leave. We plan on leaving at 5 a.m. So I will probably be out here at 4 something trying to let those plant towers survive. But we'll see. So see you in the next part. It's 5 a.m. and we are working to make sure that the garden is good. I'm filling up the watering pails. We deep watered those 2 plant towers. Oh, Nat, can you bring that small plant tower down here? And then we're going to put shade cloth over my green leafy vegetables because it has been warming up and I don't want anything to go to flower while I'm gone. I also have a cabbage that may be ready to pick, so I don't want that to split on me while I'm gone. So yeah, still dark out here, but here's the update. Oh wow, I wonder what was eating my sage. All right, so here is the update after 7 days. Most of the bottles are halfway empty. I noticed after coming back that some of the Terracotta Spikes have cracked. That could be from the heat. I have no idea, but yeah, some of them have cracked. Something took some large chunks out of this cabbage. So I will be pulling this up and planting something different here. But for the most part, everything looks great. I did notice that some of my tomatoes have leaf curl, which is normally spread by whiteflies. So I will have to replace a lot of these tomato plants. Everything else looks great. It looks like the shade cloth blew off partially, and we ended up having a hailstorm which damaged some of the leaves that were on the outsides. And my onions look absolutely great. This flower is starting to open up, and you can see on the onions the hail damage. I have an okra plant that came up. It doesn't look like I have any other ones that came up yet. I may have to plant some more. Not sure if something came and ate the little seedling while I was away. The broccoli plant has been damaged by the hail, but that's fine because I harvested the broccoli heads before I left. The lettuce has been damaged. I will be pulling these up and planting some more. Something else down here. I did plant some bush beans on the edge, and I don't see anything up yet. Might have to start some more. Looks like this part has come off partially, and these have been damaged a little bit, but everything is still alive, so that is good news. Tomatoes were damaged as well. It has that bacteria infection of leaf curl that's normally spread by whiteflies. If you have fruit already on the plant below the infection, it's completely fine. You may have flowers pop up here and there where the infection is, but you won't have any fruit that will actually develop from there. You'll most likely just have the fruit that started growing before the infection took place, and it is safe to go ahead and eat these fruits. They will continue to ripen up, but after that I recommend just pulling the plant up because you most likely won't have anything else to grow and it'll just be taking up space at that point. So what I'm going to do is allow the fruit that's already down here to ripen up, and then I will pull these plants up because I have fruit over here as well that needs to ripen up. A couple of fruit on that tomato plant over there, and then I already have some tomatoes that I'm growing actually from seed. I also put a solar irrigation system in my standing raised bed, and everything is good here too. I put my seedlings under the porch and I put them up here when I got back, but when I got back nothing was wrong with these either. When I put them under the porch, it's kind of saved them from you know, getting too dry. And the seedlings that I planted some seedlings in here before I left too, and they are fine. It looks like the hail damage kind of hit some of them, but no, this looks like something ate it. For the most part, it looks like everything survived. And the plants I had down here catching the water that falls out from underneath this, they are doing wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm going to put this out because it looks like this is actually searching for more sunlight. So this is mint, peppermint. There's chamomile and rosemary down there. And then I will show you my planter up here. So the plants that are up here, they have minor damage from the hail. And this pak choi has gone to seed, which I'll go ahead and let it go to seed because I also have some strawberries that are getting ready to produce. And that'll just attract more pollinators up here. These flowers in this flower tower are doing absolutely amazing. This right here was actually a basil plant, and it was literally the same size as this. But I believe the hailstorm probably took that out, so I'm a bit sad about that. But I'm going to leave this here because we have enough leaves to do photosynthesis, so it should be fine. It'll just be way smaller than the other one over here. We have our marigold doing absolutely amazing, and the other marigold in this, oh, it's over here. This marigold, look how full that is. It's so beautiful. It's doing so good. But this one already has a flower getting ready to open. And our bunching onions, they took a little hit. We have one that looks terrible from the hail. Got a little bruising. But for the most part, they are doing wonderful. A couple of strawberries that took a hit. We have strawberry that is ripening. Another strawberry that is ripening. Some of the leaves took a hit from the hailstorm, which that's fine, they'll recover. For the most part, everything still looks amazing. My rosemary has no issues at all. Looks great. Pepper plants, they took a little bit of damage right here. Some of the leaves are off from the hailstorm. Right here too. But they're still doing great. Now this is a topsy-turvy. This was actually very popular when I was a baby. Believe it or not, I was born in 1998. And apparently by Googling, I found out that this came out in 1999. And I saw someone giving it away for free on Facebook. So I thought, why not take it? I mean, never heard of it, but I can do my research. I grew some peppers in it last year, and well, I grew one pepper plant in it last year, and it did amazing. But the instructions said that you could grow 9 pepper plants in here, so I grew one last year. This year I'm growing 3, and we'll just see. I mean, pepper plants don't do too bad growing close together, so we're going to see how these 3 go. I will say that it does dry out quick because it is a container, and the nutrients do wash out pretty quick too. So I'll keep you guys posted on this. My blueberries, they took a little hit, but overall they're doing amazing as well. Here's some more cantaloupe that I'm gonna go ahead and put into my raised beds. And I plan on starting a whole lot more plants, so stay tuned for that. I have already harvested a cabbage, and I harvested just the head because I am going to leave this here and see if I can get some more baby cabbages. If you harvest the head gently, you should get some more cabbage sprouts in these corners right here. So 1, 2, 3. And if you have a long enough season, or if you have shade cloth where you can just try to extend their season, you can get a couple of more cabbage shoots. Overall, I'm really happy with how everything turned out. This is like 100% transparency. This is what I was left with after being gone away from my garden for 7 days. So if you guys are wanting to know what you can do for your garden when you're gone, wine bottles, terracotta spikes, Olla pots, let me know if I'm saying that right, and shade cloth. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you want to be a part of an amazing Facebook gardening community, please head on over to Facebook, type in Prosper and Plants, and I'll see you over there too.